Hello and welcome to this new watercolor tutorial. This is actually adding time lapse because it was very short, and the reason why I'm doing or creating this type of landscapes is because they're more in an abstract side, and also this is also like helping me with creativity as well. And you can create as many as you like. This is actually from a card, so it's like 5 by 7, I believe. So they're pretty small. And instead of like really thinking to create something completely perfect, this is more to give you the idea of actually becoming a little bit more looser. I have the idea of actually creating a landscape with a lot of sun in it, but at the same time I wanted to create some type of mystery, so I started adding my blues and adding my purples as I went along. Creating like this gives you like the freedom of expressing yourself without actually just thinking that you're doing something specific. And it also loosens you up if you're starting with watercolors and not to have that be afraid of the medium. Because I know that watercolors can be a little bit daunting for some. Actually, I wanted to start from the top part and then kind of just flow, basically like the light shining through. But I was like, no, just gonna go with the flow, whatever comes. Really not having a specific thing to do. As you see me here, I actually kind of sort of cheated to do like the sun rays, and I'm adding red and blue to both sides. I'm actually doing this on dry paper, and I'm adding about a pinch of water to each side. Also, I was thinking not to put too many colors because that's also seemed to be like an issue with some people that, like with me specifically. I got upset every time someone number a color that I knew that I didn't have on my palette, because I basically just could afford the only 6 primary colors. So I really wanted to do something that anybody can afford and that you can practice on your own. With blue and red, you can create beautiful purples, and you really don't have to go beyond to create a color that you might not have. Which means that something like this you can create on your own without actually adding more materials onto your list. Since I didn't had like a picture, I was looking at something, I just created what I felt like it would look good. And just I was thinking maybe could be a river, it could be the end or the beginning of winter. And so I just started to adding more blue around, and to kind of just have the feel of almost like a beach scenery. And I actually did this also yesterday with doing, I was thinking about lavender fields, but I wasn't really like quite getting the idea. So until I kind of just put it on paper, and it actually dried pretty nicely. Then I'm adding a migraine. However, the palette that I'm using is actually Winsor & Newton. Before I leave, I want to leave you with some of the colors that I actually use, and that's what you see me doing here. Now, I always tell people, I always say, whomever, if you're studying or you're beginning, that watercolors usually tend to dry a little bit lighter. So don't hesitate to actually add color, because it will suck the color up, specifically because we really didn't stretch this paper. We just went ahead and add. This paper is not really the type of paper to actually grasp onto many washes. So I think that about 3 or 4 washes it should be enough. Not adding too much water. Like you see here, at the same time, I just wanted to do something, create something out of the blue. Something that is really not like a idea, it's just something that came out. And at the same time, instructing myself to practice and not to lose the comfort feeling of what I like to do, which is actually painting. You know, with everything that is going on around us, sometimes we get stressed out. So you don't want to get stressed while you're painting. I mean, sometimes I have ruined paintings, and the one prior to this one, I actually scratched it with the same brush, and I was like, oh my god. But it happens. You just want to feel comfortable by doing something that you actually love. I actually had to pull some of the water droplets out and the paint because I really felt like, okay, you know what, this cloud is actually missing here. So what I did, and you can do this too, is that I pick up the paint with the brush and I added more because it was it was called for. I just wanted to do something that just spontaneous, like I said, and not really going into an idea. Just creating and painting and thinking in my mind, this could be this look good, this look good, maybe this can go in, I don't know, you know. And since it's really small work, you don't have to worry. Like if you mess it up, you mess it up and just moving to the next. That's okay. Now, a lot of people have issues because as you can see, the paper is buckling. A lot of people freak out, including myself. When the paper buckle, I was like, I don't understand why I keep liking this medium because it's just like so difficult. The paper is buckling, it's lifting up. You know, I'm not doing this right, and I'm just so frustrated. But the truth is that with every watercolor paper out there, it hasn't happened as of yet that it has stayed buckled. It actually comes back to its size once it's dry. So don't worry about the buckling. And once it's dry, if you still feel like, you know what, this paper is still buckled, you can actually press it down as it's dry. Of course, you can press it down against books and it will come out stretch as possible. So really don't feel discouraged by the buckling. A lot of people tell you many things, but I just feel that if I were to be wanting to paint and I don't have any experience, all the problems and all the issues that I will encounter, I have to learn some way or the other. But at the same time, I don't want to become frustrated by not being able to fixing these problems. And when you tell someone that is starting in watercolors that you need to tape it, you need to grab, you need to staple it, you have to do this, you have to do that, you adding pressure because, well, most people are very busy unless you're a student and you have the time. But I know for us, at least for myself, I'm very busy. Sometimes I just want to do something just to practice, just to feel the joy of painting. And that's what you want to do here. You just want to go with the flow. And like I said, if the buckle actually bothers you, then you can tape the corners with a non-sticky tape. And of course, I don't know if you have the idea, but non-sticky tapes could be washi tape, which is actually very beautiful. Sometimes it comes in different colors and it's very cute. And also painter's tape is the one that when people are going to paint houses or paint rooms, etc., it's the blue tape. I call it painter's tape, and I'm not sure if that's the right word, but you can actually tape it with that tape. And what happens is that it's not going to stick the paper to it. Never add the tape when it's actually wet because it's going to rip off the paper. So always add the tape before you're going to work on your paper. Before we lose the whole scope of the theme, adding some greens, and I kind of just added a little bit more of a darker blue onto the clouds, and I also added Payne's gray onto the foliage and yellow, and I created some type of abstracty landscape. And for those of you who might ask, this is cerulean blue, and then I actually added cerulean blue, and the first color that I added was cobalt blue. Then you have ivory black. Then I added raw amber and the yellow. It's pretty strong, which is lemon yellow. And I feel like everything kind of sort of takes shape as you go. You really don't have to work this quick. You can actually let the layers dry like a normal person. But like I said, I was a bit tired. I wanted to move along with my day. And so I kind of just did this spontaneously, like I said. At the same time, I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I can give someone an idea as to create something, because sometimes I stare at a blank canvas or a blank piece of paper and I have no idea what to make. But while you're not having the idea of what can come out of your noggin while that is happening, you can just press and do your own painting and just enjoy. I always feel every time I try these type of paintings that they come out as if I was in a dream somewhere. And I feel like that's what brings me joy. Might not be the perfect painting out there or the most landscape type, but at least I did and created something, and at the same time gave you an idea for perhaps your next painting. One of the things that I actually have learned over the past years is that you never want to compare with other people. There's going to be tons and tons of millions of other people doing different things, and there's only one you. So that brings individuality. And so that's what you should focus on. And just to be happy that you're able to create and you're able to share your work with other people. I really enjoy creating this little painting, and I hope that you enjoy watching as well. And this brings you, like I said, the wanting to do something, to not feel constricted of whatever, not listen to anybody, but listen to your own intuition, and you're wanting to create and you're wanting to do something. I hope that this finds you well. On the next time, I hope also that you create and that you be spontaneous, creating whatever it is that comes out of your mind and putting it on paper. Sometimes these little paintings are more successful, I feel, than the ones that are actually planned. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves. Be safe. See you in the next one. Bye.